oh, if this is what came out in 2004 and what people thought was good for The Punisher as a movie, I can only imagine what type of nonsense is in the Punisher Netflix show, or at least it was on Netflix before Marvel pulled it. Now Disney controls Marvel. But oh my goodness, I didn't think I could watch a movie about one of the most iconic Marvel comic book characters ever be destroyed in about 2 hours. I don't understand this, guys. How do you screw up the lore, the plot, the backstory, the explanation, the reason the Punisher is called the Punisher in a movie? How do you screw that up? I don't get it. I honestly don't understand. Now, there are some good things to this movie, but really, this movie is bad. So we're going to talk about positives and negatives, guys, and then I'll give you guys my final score. First of all, this movie does explain and show why the Punisher comes to be. This film explains why the Punisher is the Punisher. But it does so in such a slow and boring fashion that I don't care. This movie makes me not care about Punisher. I didn't care that this movie is 2 hours long and is basically a lore film. This isn't Punisher. This is cops and robbers taking out a mug and this film does explain, though, where the Punisher gets his logo from. It's from his son. As if we cared about seeing that in this movie at all. The gunfights and the hand-to-hand combat scenes were spectacularly well done. There's a car chase scene that was really generic, but it was action-packed enough that if you shut your brain off, you can enjoy. The film is great for those that know absolutely nothing about Punisher lore. I can say this for a fact. If you have no prior knowledge to anything involving the Punisher, if you've never read the comics, you've never seen the Punisher show on Netflix when it was on Netflix, if you know nothing about Punisher and you just sit down, plug this movie into your Blu-ray player or watch it through your digital store and you just decide I want to watch Punisher and see what Punisher's about, this film I guess will be okay for you. But if you're like me and know just about everything and anything about Punisher, this is a disgrace. Now, for some people, this has been a debate for years since this movie came out in 2004, but a lot of people consider this to be a cult classic, a decent, action film, and a disgrace. So there's three different types of people. You've got people that think that it's a cult classic, it's a decent film for what it is for Punisher, it's a disgrace to the Punisher franchise, or it's just a good action movie. Me, I can enjoy watching this movie as a action film. Also, a little bit of a disgrace to the lore. I don't consider this a cult classic. I really loved the Punisher's car. Seeing that in this movie was really cool. I loved seeing that live action. Really good. The fellow apartment guys that are in this film that live next door to the Punisher are really, really funny. There are great amounts of jokes. There's a great amount of jokes in this film. Even though this is considered to be an action movie, I laughed constantly throughout the film and enjoyed every second of it. I enjoyed the plot where the Punisher is planting evidence in order to get the main villain mob boss to kill his top thug general guy and also to end up killing his wife to get revenge and to punish the villain for killing his entire family because the mob boss thinks that this one former FBI agent was responsible for the mob boss's younger son. And so the mob boss ends up killing all of the Punisher's family and leaves him alive, sort of. Amazing finale with the Punisher killing all of the mob and the mob boss. He gives the punishment that is needed towards those that did the Punisher wrong. It has a decent ending, and it kind of leaves you wanting more from the universe. Also, lastly, I love the guitar scene that was in the cafe in the hole in the wall. That was a really cool scene. I loved it. But that's it for positive, guys. I can't stress enough that this film was a drag. This is a mix of many other films that I have seen in the past, including the TV show Blue Bloods, Captain America, Home Alone, Die Hard, Resident Evil 7, Batman, Arrow. The bad guy just going around and killing people and saying evil things doesn't make for a interesting villain. Now, I get this is from 2004. I completely understand that. Back then, 16, 17 years ago, that's what a villain's backstory just needed to be. We didn't need to have a true backstory to a villain to care about. But I can't say this enough that I don't care. The fact of the matter is, you don't care about the villain. Also, you have no emotional connection to the Punisher family being killed because you spend so little time in the movie establishing who everybody is. There's just the Punisher family, and here's Dad, here's his kid, here's his mom, here's the uncle. Oh, hey, Auntie. I'm like, you have no background knowledge and experience with these characters, and so when they end up being shot and killed near the beginning of the film, like, the family of the Punisher dies within the first 15-20 minutes of the movie, and I'm like, why am I supposed to care about the fact that everyone's getting shot and killed? I know I'm supposed to be emotionally invested. It seems like I'm supposed to be, at least, but I'm not, because I don't know who these people are. Even the wife and the kid of the Punisher, when they are killed by being ran over by a truck, the music and the atmosphere is supposed to make you feel like you care, but because you have no emotional connection, you don't really know who they are. You don't even get a name to these people. You're just like wife and kid. I'm just like, why am I supposed to care that they're dead? I get it's a plot device to move the movie forward, but that's all it is, because you don't know and care about these people. And that's a problem, especially with Punisher lore. You're supposed to care about when somebody really close to the Punisher dies, because it's supposed to make you feel emotionally connected. There is no emotional connection in this film whatsoever. Also, I don't understand how the Punisher survives being shot in the legs, the chest, punched in the face numerous times by a heavy hitter, an explosion, and he also lands and crashes onto boats and wood planks. How does a normal human being, without any sort of super strength or anything, he's not Captain America. Captain America. He's not Captain America. How does he survive all that? Never explained. This film is also rated R, so I want to let you guys know about that. And because of that, it leads to suggested sex. There is a lot of language in the first hour, and there is some brief nudity. This film also takes about 50 minutes before we actually get into Punisher action happening. Like I said, this movie is 2 hours long, so it takes almost the first half of the runtime before we actually get into Punisher action. For the first hour, it's just stuff happening. People are showing up, they're doing things. And then the second half of the film, for the last hour, the Punisher actually starts doing punishing things. Okay? There also is a small gay plot line that does absolutely nothing to push the main plot line forward. Whatever your stance is on being gay, the problem is that this gay plot line doesn't do anything to help the film progress forward. Okay? The apartment fight scene against the Russian, honestly, I felt was way too long, and it felt like I was watching a Resident Evil boss fight. I felt like I was Jake and I was fighting a boss in Resident Evil 7. That's how long and dragged out the fight scene was. And it was just really generic. Okay? And I also don't feel like the Punisher was Punisher. I felt like I was watching some sort of rogue cop or rogue FBI agent just taking his revenge on a mob and the mob boss. I didn't feel like I was watching a Punisher film. And I can't stress this enough, that I didn't feel like I was watching Punisher. I felt like I was watching a generic action film. And they could have cast anybody to be in any of these roles, and I wouldn't have cared. Who they cast, and I don't know his name off the top of my head, but who they cast as the mob boss, perfect job. really well done, great performance. I really loved the mob boss. He was my favorite character in this film. Really well done. I loved his acting. So there are some things in this film that I really enjoyed, but in general, as a Punisher film, it was bad. As an action movie, decent. So I would like to know if you guys have seen this film. Are you guys planning to? Do you guys agree or disagree with me on my positives and negatives? Please let me know in the comment section, guys. And with that, I'm going to give The Punisher from 2004 a 7.5 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video.